Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first webinar of the year presented by the Greater New York Insights Association. We're here today with Ian Roberts from the Internet Research Bureau, and he's going to be talking to us a little bit about blockchain and the future of market research panels. Ian has over 20 years experience in market research. He's kind of covered everything. Right now, he's focused on making the most out of data. But in his past experience, he was purchasing marketing research service and benchmarking studies for the UK government. He did operations and customer support with Voxel software, survey software. He was the head of statistics and technical services at Ipsos UK. He did panel management at GfK. He helped develop big data databases and data connectors at NABU. And now he's working on sample provision and outsourcing services at the Internet Research Bureau in the UK. Ian's calling us all the way from lovely London and is going to give us some great information today on blockchain and his insight into what he thinks the future is going to be. So, Ian, thank you so much and welcome.
Thanks, Sam. Just to start off with, I'm going to sort of roll some people back into a bit of a memory there on when they left school. And, you know, if it's like me, that last day of school, I got all those textbooks that I never actually would think of looking at again and threw them all away and sort of wiped my head and thought, wow, I'm never going to have to think about logarithms or anything like that. Unfortunately, I'm going to put a bit of pain back on people now, and we're going to go back to school. There won't be an exam at the end of this, but you know, a brief sort of look back here at biology 101. And really, the reason for doing this is to sort of, you know, give everyone an idea on blockchain itself. When we look at sort of learning about sort of biology, we learn about the DNA in there as well. We learn that, you know, it's a string of data in there, and it contains all that information about how a person is, you know, their height, their color of their eyes, whether they got wavy hair or straight hair and stuff like that. It's all in there somewhere. It's, you know, in this great big long string of data, and all of that data is, you know, various different bits of information about how you as an individual are and put together. And a lot of that sort of data as well is passed on from your parents. So, you know, it gets carried on down through the generations, and it's traceable in that way. So you can see, you know, what variables, what sort of genetic characteristics you have based on your parents as well. So you get, you know, that sort of sequence of information in there put together. So, you know, you have little bits of data in the sequence. And that sequence is in a long chain of information, and that chain is replicated throughout the sort of the cells of the body. And so there, you know, that's a quick sort of biology overview, and hopefully it doesn't bring back too many painful memories for people from their school days and, you know, having their tutor stand up there and lecture them on that. But the reason of sort of looking at it and when we're talking about blockchain is because it, in a way, the whole way that DNA works describes very well how blockchain works. You have this, you know, sort of different units of data. They're in sequences, in chains. They're all linked together, and these sequences are sort of put across lots of different cells, different nodes on there as well. So the sort of the way that structure is, you know, when we think about DNA and we've learned about cells and biology, and we may not be experts in that, but it's kind of an easy way of remembering how blockchain works. And although, you know, blockchain, it is a very, very long string of data. There can be sort of lots and lots of different paths that you can follow on a chain on there. But normally what happens is you start at the endpoint and you work your way back up each individual link until you get to, you know, the starting point, usually a sort of, you know, the first part of a transaction and what party was in that transaction. So it does mean that every single link in there is traceable. You've got all of that information. You can go back through the hierarchies and find out, you know, what event led to each individual event and all those transactions were. So that really helps you to get an idea of, how DNA works and how that blockchain works. And so when you are sort of thinking about, the applications of it, you're thinking about how that data is put together, and how useful that will be for my organization.